school.
I feel you on the edge of my life. Driving a perfect wedge straight into my mind. Come out from under all these indecisions. Oh, make room for somebody else. Circling the edge, way up high. Don't I forever have a useful alibi? Gone too far to stop. Yeah, I try. Flying, crashing, looking for a perfect suicide. Circling the
Bit of a team pinch coming out. A finish that was. Drinking and smoking yourself, don't even wanna try. Make room for somebody else. Oh, I just wanna hide out from under all these indecisions. Oh, make room for somebody else. Circling the edge, way up high. Don't I forever have a useful alibi? Going for the flip reset. Gets it. It's over. JBGaming. Oh my goodness.
Flying, crashing, looking for a perfect suicide. Circling the
Welcome back, everybody. It's your boy Hops back at it again on the microphone. Vector, before you start talking, I don't think you realize, but I think you're muted on Discord. I think that'd be fairly tragic to see happen. But there we go. We are here for the next round of playoffs, starting with Major. We saw some brilliant matches and brilliant series yesterday. Next up, playoffs of All-Stars. I mean, All-Stars, not playoffs. We've had playoffs. We've seen some brilliant All-Stars. We have brilliant playoffs. We have All-Stars.
Probably going to be the same level of competition, though, Hope. Some lovely Rocket League still to come.
Exactly. I think that's the main point I'm trying to get across here, is that main lovely Rocket League is going to be happening. As you can hear, Vector is next to me on the desk. The Geo is back, and here you can see the schedule. Majors, Elite, and the Premier. All-Star Blue versus All-Star Red for each one of those tiers. It's going to be some exciting stuff here, Vector.
It should hopefully be. I mean, I feel like this should be a more relaxed atmosphere for All-Stars. Of course, there's nothing left to play for but bragging rights. Saying that, all these players are very competitive. We've got champions in this match, and they're there for a reason, based on stats, based on just personal performance throughout the season and throughout playoffs as well. I'm not expecting too many fireworks with this. Obviously, both sides will be memeing it just a little bit, trying to show off their mechanical skills, and that's what I hope to see. I hope to have a fun time and just show us what they're capable of, what they can prove in a more pressure-free environment, because as strong as these players are, this isn't one that they want to sweat too hard for.
Indeed, it's a little bit of fun here, but then again, as you aforementioned, the chaos which comes with mechanics is always a good bit of fun, especially as we approach Major and above. These guys have some impeccable mechanics. I'm looking for a little bit of flair to be thrown into there. And when you talk about flair, you definitely think of some of these players who we have up first. Lovely Cans, Bayley and Alanis versus Spartax, JBGaming and Pxcey. I mean, there's definitely a few names in there which are going to cause some fireworks for sure. Hopefully, maybe not as hitting the post as much as we're used to seeing from a certain somebody on one of these rosters. But still, I think it's going to be fun and brilliant nonetheless.
Yeah, not wanting to name the player that you mentioned there. I'm sure it'll come up at some point, and people just know it by now. It's a staple of the RSC, and unfortunately they didn't manage to get into playoffs, just losing out in that play-in final. But now here in the All-Stars, they proved themselves throughout the league play season, as did all of these players. Lovely Cans, a name everybody should know, won the major tier this season on the side of Fort Templar. I believe it was Gladiators that was their name. On the other side, JBGaming, and of Sistema Solaris, just about getting pips there of Saturnia from getting to the grand final by the Bladesmiths. None of the Bladesmiths in this All-Star match, which is surprising to me to see, but there's just so much talent throughout Major that it's hard to discern between them. Sometimes you just can't decide, so it's unfortunate to see that. But we do have Pxcey and Spartax as well to round out that other side. And this should be a blast either way. Whichever way it goes, the result doesn't really matter. We just want to see some amazing Rocket League.
Exactly. This is kind of the sing and song of all praises of what makes RSC great, and it really comes down to those players. And as we get the players into their respective teams, big shout out to the subs. Rapids, Evoke, Minty and Sato just missed the top spot of getting their names into the starting All-Star rosters, but still they deserve a shout out nonetheless. Rapids, Evoke, Minty, Sato, all of you guys did a fantastic job through the regular season, and just being pipped by the 6 players who are going to be starting in these All-Star games. And, you know, if there was one player you had to pick out, I'd definitely say my money is on Lovely Cans. He was just at Psionic servers, isn't it?
Sometimes.
Exactly. We are finally underway. It doesn't look like all the players are now moving. So this is the All-Star Major. Best of 5 map 1. It'll be exciting to see how this turns out with Lovely Cans getting an early shot. Alanis is going up, and expect to see a lot of aerial play. I mean, looking at the players on this field, this can be a hell of a lot of aerial ball.
That's what I'm hoping for, and I think that's something that a lot of people look at with All-Star matches. It's just full of such great talent. As we see the first goal come out here between Spartax and Pxcey, an easy infield pass for him to take a shot at there. Lovely Cans taking a lot of time to go for that, and doesn't end up going for it. I think you expected the early shot, but going back to the point that I was trying to make, despite the amazing amount of talent that's on both sides of these of this field, it can sometimes be difficult because obviously they haven't played all that much together. They weren't on the same teams throughout the regular season or throughout playoffs, and whether or not they played with one another on the same team in 6-mans or in scrims or in ranked or anything really, we'll have to see how they adapt to each other quickly. Generally, because they're all great players individually, it doesn't take all that long for them to adapt to one another, but we shall have to see. As this one's sent straight back into the red corner. Cans is up already. Alanis is coming off the red crossbar there, trying to get a crazy shot going on the way. This one through the corner, not finding much here, but a double commit. You can already see a little bit of miscommunication and mispositioning from the All-Star Red team, and that's to be expected.
Yeah, and it's something that me and Grey Beard touched on a lot yesterday during the first set of All-Star games, is that kind of lack of chemistry. These players, yeah, they'll know each other from playing one another, scrimming within the regular season, but potentially not on the same side. So how long it takes for that chemistry to start hitting the nail really could be that decider, is that main real factor with these All-Star games. But it is All-Star Red with that 1-goal lead after a beautiful play at the beginning of this match. All-Star Blue now trying to mount some sort of counter-attack to bring that deficit back to neutral. Spartax now gets that core catch with the ball. However, a great chance from Alanis. The double tap. I love to see it. Early double tap. Oh, a mid-game double tap attempt from Alanis. Doesn't come to anything, but definitely starting to feel comfortable with herself.
I was fearful for her there at the moment, going for double taps. I love to see it, and I love to see her attempting it, but if she'd have hit that post or that crossbar, It would have come out pretty early, Hop. The Alanis Plague could start to affect this this field. And it would have been a horrible way for it to start with her. Hasn't seen much shooting so far. Spartax here with one, and that does hit the crossbar. It's quite a bit closer than it might have looked in the first place. Pxcey with a double tap does not find the shot that he's looking for. Spartax attempting one of his own, but a free clear for Bayley's cut out by Pxcey straight through the corner. And yeah, it feels like this first game, each side just trying to figure out what the other is doing. Whether they're giving each other enough space for those mechanics to go ahead, or whether or not they're worried about their ego being bruised if they do get scored on by some great mechanical play. I'm just wondering if they're too competitive for that, they're too prideful for that to happen. But at some point, something's got to give, and one of these players will come out with something special, hopefully.
I mean, you know, all I'm saying is go for it, bruise some egos. The more the better, and that slow roller from Bayley may be a bit of an ego bruiser, but for a different reason.
Most boring goal could have gone.
Yeah, exactly. A very slow roller, and Pxcey does not stand up to what his name suggests, and was just not quick enough to get back to that ball. Bayley just tying the game up for a rather anticlimactic goal, the end of it, but still a goal nonetheless. Pxcey now putting that challenge on forward. Bayley gets a touch into the corner. Nice, Can's going to start to just pop it, make it awkward for JB to do anything with it. It does do well. Spartax plays it off the backboard, looking for Pxcey. Can't find the top corner. I wouldn't call it Alanis Plague just yet.
Yeah,
it was a tough finish, but a great challenge from Bayley does lead to an own goal to Spartax. Unbelievable finish, and Spartax gets that touch away.
Dunk.
Bayley, oh dear. Great finish from him, but just in the wrong goal.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call it an own goal. It was already on target, had to do something about it, but just slightly out of position to clear it. Leads to All-Star Red taking that lead once again. Fairly late into this first game. It's Pxcey going for it once more. Alanis with a nice clear, looking for Bayley, already up the field to the backboard instead. Spartax can't get a touch from JB. Does it for him, and Can's caught out there. Going back to his own halfway line. Pxcey's just waiting in the mid for the pass, and he gets demoed out for it. It's Bayley probably looking to link up with Cans there. Not managing to do so. Something they've had trouble with throughout this game. Facet of the chemistry not quite being there. The consistency with passing and touches start to come alive as they've kind of treated this first game as a warm-up, I imagine. And so far, so good for All-Star Red. Pxcey, Bayley even, wasn't expecting to get much done in this game, wasn't expecting much from himself against such a prolific lineup as Spartax, Pxcey and JBGaming, but he's got the one goal for them, 300 points here. Alanis and Cans really wanted to step up, prove their worth, show how good they can be. A nice link-up pass does give them a chance, but it's immediately cut out by All-Star Red, and their defense has just been almost impenetrable throughout this first game.
It really has been, and I love Alanis and Cans. I mean, it's kind of like that old, you know, like a movie. You have the villain fighting with the good side. I have to link up to take down
Depends on your
the red
perspective.
team. I mean, it depends on the perspective, but it is going to be game number one. No, it isn't. It's been kept up.
Oh.
Still, however, the shot is on for JB. The beautiful finish from All-Star Red. They try to keep up as long as they can. However, not to be. All-Star Red going 3-1 up in game number one, and they clinched the first game to go up 1-0 in the series. Beautiful finishes all around. Bit of a feeler game. I think that's the best way to put it. I mean, it was a feeler game. Nonetheless, it was some good Rocket League being played, but I'm definitely expecting a few more sparks, a few more fires, a few more irons in the fire heading into the next game.
Yeah, just dipping their toes in, seeing how the water is, and All-Star Red have handled it a little bit better. Spartax with a clean 500 points there, a couple goals to his name, as well as a couple saves, as I mentioned. Bit better defense than All-Star Blue, just a couple more saves there. But Bayley really stood up here. 400 points, didn't get all that much in terms of connection with the game. He got a couple saves, and Can's got one of them, but Alanis and lovely Can's really not showing us what they're capable of. Did see Alanis say that she was just in it for the participation medal, getting that All-Star tag in the server, which, you know, to be fair, it's kind of all right in my eyes, considering she will feel disappointed with the fact they didn't even make playoffs, that they had to fight through those play-ins and just about not making it. She'll probably hate me for bringing it up again, might haunt her dreams from here on out. But that's the kind of mentality that the best of the best need to have, to just move on, get over it. What's done is done, and all you can do is try again in the next season. But they're having to try right now.
They are having to try right now. I know both these teams
Hold
do
on to
not
their pride.
exactly. Both teams do not like losing, and that's the famous staple, especially against players in your own league. In the All-Star games, and bragging rights is something that's huge in the RSC. But a bit of a double commit on that shot. Spartax and Pxcey hitting the crossbar. Now, pull me wrong, but Alanis comes up, but Spartax recovers beautifully. Bayley trying to knock it away, but Spartax with such good ball control gets it over Bayley at the end there. And that's going to be All-Star Red taking the lead once again. What a start from this side.
Just panic in defense there. Bayley attempted to do something, flick it up and out, but Spartax is just too quick on rotation, just too clever. Keep that ball close enough. Take it all over the defense. The shot from Cans here will be easy to take away, but into the corner, Bayley attempts to find a teammate. Alanis with a shot, maybe? I'm not sure. It was quite close to the mid, probably looking for a teammate there, but no one to be found. All-Star Blue sitting back on defense quite a bit, and they're getting punished for it. This one's just thrown across the field. Pxcey takes control. A team pinch. Not even a team pinch, it was a cross-team pinch between Alanis and Pxcey. Seen one of those go in hot throughout the playoffs. Seen a few of them, in fact. I think we saw 2 of them in the same game in quick succession. But this one does not find its way towards the net. And a minute into the second game, Alanis goes for something special. Nice air dribble finish. Not quite the control that Spartax displayed with his goal. And once again, All-Star Red holding on with a stellar defense.
Great defense indeed. He's going to put the shot forward off the backboard. None of his teammates there to find the shot. JB does come in eventually, but by then Bayley had reset completely. A bit of a whiff coming out, and Bayley's going to have a free roll into the net. Spartax just beautifully to get back to keep that one from going in. Maintain their 1-goal lead, and it's going to go right back down the field, and they're going to get the second. All-Star Red. I mean, the triple commit on offense just cannot be happening. I mean, that definitely shows the lack of chemistry and communication in regards for their rotations, this All-Star Blue. But All-Star Red, you cannot feed them these sort of goals. I mean, you've just given it to them on a platter.
Yeah, a little too simple for my taste, especially looking at the player of the season. Lovely Cans. Not being able to participate much in this game, just being completely cut out by the red side. Now he gets the ball taken away from him. Spartax gets a free touch. Throws it straight to Bayley, though. Giving them a bit of a boon here. Can't control the ball through the air as JB reads it. Alanis does have the passing option. Takes it to Cans to the back bar. Looking for the double tap. It's going to drop down. It's very slow. It's off the crossbar. And Alanis herself makes sure that the plague does not rear its ugly head once again. It's a great attempt by Cans. It's a tough angle to find any pace on that ball. But they do manage to get one back, and we go back to the same scoreline we had at the end of Game 1. Plenty of time left on the clock. But if that's what it takes for All-Star Blue to score, just a lack of rotation, it seemed like, from Red. They were so slow to try and read that ball. Then I'm worried for their future offensive prospects.
Indeed. I mean, talking about future, a lot of these players will be looking to travel into Elite next season. I think Lovely Cans being that main title, but pretty much all of them looking to move on to Elite. That's going to be great for the RSC and for just generally Elite gameplay. As I'm waffling about something else, a setup comes in. JBGaming challenging early. Pxcey getting a beautiful touch of the corner, beating the last defender. JB's going to slot that one in for that third goal. I mean, I'm trying to talk about something a bit more, futuristic, yada, 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 about these players moving to Elite. I need to focus a bit more on the here and now, because it is 3-1 for the All-Star Reds.
This could be combines for some of these players. All-Star Red are working together really well. All 3 of them with a goal. 2 of the goals being assisted. Communication is clearly there. There's some sort of understanding, even if it's at surface level. A great play by Bayley does put this into the mid. They managed to pull another one back. As I said in the first game, really seemed like he was showing up, Bayley, carrying the torch for this team. This one trying to link up with Alanis, but just barrels that through.
I mean, he does such a good job at placing his, that car. It's such a wide car. The hitbox is so big, and he does such a good job positioning it. So there was really no clearance. I mean, it's a bit of an unorthodox pick. You don't often see it at the high levels of Rocket League. But Bayley, he really makes it work. It's reminiscent of the Dominus back in the Batmobile, back in those sort of days. He definitely plays and utilizes that effectively. Now, Red. Mounting the attack again, but the whip from Pxcey. I was gonna call it.
That was intentional.
I was gonna call it. I mean, calculate exactly. He wanted to get a bit of the passion. He was looking for the double tap. Exactly. Looking for the double tap. Finds the finish at the end, but this All-Star Red team looking completely in control of the map. I mean, lovely cans, Alanis, Bayley. Regardless of what you do, and even if you're throwing the game, you're still going to be moving up to Elite. All right, you're not going to stay in Major. Right,
lovely cans definitely is. He begrudged us on that after the playoff final. Oh my goodness, what a reset from Spartax! Coming out with something crazy there. We haven't seen much of it through this series, but it's glad to see that starting to get there. Spartax with an amazing pass, didn't quite find the shot. Now he does to the backboard. No one's going to be there. JBGaming finishes this one off as Cans misses the clearance. And as you said, completely in control, completely dominating this series in the second game especially. And as I said, possibly Combine. These players might want to link up. They might want to join forces next season, should the draft go their way, based on the way they've been playing. But as I was saying, even about the interview that we had with Lovely Cans post playoffs after the grand final, I asked him, as I asked pretty much everyone that I interviewed throughout the 5, because the Premier tier can't go up any further, unfortunately. But I asked them, what are their ambitions, what do they want to do going forward, and whether or not they'd end up going to Elite. Lovely Can said, I have no choice. I'm going up there. There is no doubt about it. He's been in the Major Grand Final twice now, and he's won it one of those times. So it's no surprise that he's going to Elite. Whether or not he'll be able to put up the numbers and be as productive as he was throughout Major, we'll have to see. But that's definitely something to think about going on later into Season 9.
Indeed it is, and he needs to now start waking up a little bit, I feel, right now. Bayley has been definitely the stand-up performer on the All-Star Blue side of things. Alanis, Cans, definitely, let's see what you guys are made of, as they are mounting a bit of attack. Cans looking for the pass to Alanis. Not the greatest of passes, but with the time ticking, he's going to be All-Star Red, taking the second game as well, going up 2-0 in the series. They were looking for their 6th goal there, couldn't find it, unfortunately. But 2-0 in the All-Star series, and I forgot to mention, Vector, every single series so far in these All-Stars has been a Game 5. I don't know if you tuned in yesterday. I hope you did.
I did not know that.
You should have tuned in yesterday, because I
was busy, okay? I was doing something else. I apologize. I would have been here. I had prior plans.
Audacity.
But I'm here now, okay?
I know. Anyway, and regardless, Prospect, Challenger, and Minor All-Star games all went to a game number 5. So, if this breaks the trend, I'm not a happy person. I'm not happy.
Which is a funny thing, considering the way that we've talked about Minor and Major this season, how they've been so damn close. Minor playoffs wasn't all that close, especially the play-ins. We were expecting a lot of Game 5s. There were a lot of sweeps that went on, and maybe we were just misreading it, or it was a completely different atmosphere from league play to the playoffs. That teams just suddenly showed up with consistency. They were playing so well on the day, and other teams couldn't handle it, regardless of how close the individual games were. Series scores do matter, and as does this one. Almost staring at a sweep here for All-Star Red. And the blue side, you have to start to wonder. Lovely Can's a brilliant player in his own right, of course, the player of the season for Major, but it is important to have the right players around you. And I feel like with Evoke and with Menorca, I believe it was, on the side of Gladiators, they work so well together as a team, and it's just wondering whether or not Cans is having trouble adapting to other people. Getting used to a team within a series can be so difficult in and of itself, but All-Star Red have really shown no troubles on that side of things, and starting to show up, and hopefully in this possibly third and final game, some more mechanics, some more show match type plays, some brilliant things to look at and talk about. Cancia with the car change, going to the Batmobile, maybe that is what will change that.
Yeah, you never know. Alanis, she's a bit of a troller, bit of a troll. you know, she may be quiet all the previous 2 games and have decided to be like, okay, Cans, let's switch it on.
Good story. You want the reverse sweep?
Exactly, you want the reverse sweep. They've been scrimming at least twice a day for these All-Star games. You never know. But you know, some people may say that these All-Star matches hold more importance than the money that is in, you know, place.
Really?
Because you get the bragging rights.
Against the best of the best.
Against the best of the best. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, if as an ex-GM, you don't look at the previous playoffs. You look at the All-Star games, and if you do one of the All-Star games, that's your number 1 pick. You know, maybe that's why I'm no longer a GM, but still, we move forward here. It's been some great stuff and brilliant Rocket League, but we are on the cusp of having a sweep in Major All-Stars, the first sweep of the All-Star games. All the rest of them have been game number 5. So looking for All-Star Blue to kind of wake up just a little bit more. Alanis, lovely Cans, and Bayley not really showing up at all so far in these games.
No, it's a little unfortunate. We've seen some dedicated goalkeeper positions, which is strange to see. Pxcey sat on his goal line there for an extended period of time, whether or not they're just mocking their opponents. Lovely Cans here having to do some defending on his own, but is taken out of that play entirely as All-Star Red just double commit and pinch the ball away. Spartax taking Bayley out here. You're not allowed to have the ball. I'm going to air dribble it. I'm going to take it over Alanis as well. What do you think of that? No, you aren't. Alanis with the shot. JBGaming just about retreats back in time. Bayley takes the ball away from the Batmobile. Cans, who is no longer looking lovely as Alanis, gives this away. But JBGaming to finish off. That's a phenomenal pass off.
It's a phenomenal pass from Alanis. JB, exactly. A great pass. Padding the stats the wrong way, Alanis is. But there we have it. I mean, JB going up for that goal for his team. All-Star Red leading once again as they've gone through for the whole series long. Another beautiful pass, this time from Cans to Spartax. I mean, are they playing 6v0 right now? Because that's what it looks like. Lovely Cans coming in with a fantastic assist on the wrong side of things. I mean, I don't really know what more to say. It's some beautiful Rocket League if it was like, you know, 12 mans, but, you know, against with the other 6 on the field. It's like playing Mafia, but everybody's Mafia. You know, you can't trust anyone. And Bayley, Cans, and Alanis don't seem to trust each other. Yeah, you can. It is just a free-for-all. Whichever net you score on is a goal for you. And if you make an assist, then you are the playmaker. Doesn't matter which side it is. There are no colours between these two teams. It is just, you know, everyone for themselves. Exactly. I mean, a good person is blind to colour. You know what I mean? There's deep moments in history. This is Rocket League, Hop. This is Martin Luther King of Rocket League. Really? Anyway, okay, maybe going a bit too deep now. But JBGaming have an opportunity to put that 3rd goal in. Cans can't fire. Cans finds a defence. Trying to make a bit of an aerial play. Gets the catch on that Batmobile. Looking for the pass in centre. Cannot find it. Throws off Spartax though. Bayley trying to fly in to keep that going. Spartax though flying it out down the field. JB with the shot. Dangerous. Spartax going to try and follow it up. Bayley's patience playing off dividends for him though. Can he find the shot? No, he cannot. Just a bit wide. Not too difficult for Pxcey to deal with though. Alanis puts it into the centre once again. Cans is there. JBGaming's defense just too strong right now. This base is going to force the counter-attack all the way down the other end of the field. JB can't find the redirect touch off the backboard. He's going to give Alanis a free ball. Alanis not going to do too much with it because Spartax's challenge was so early in the midfield. Bayley, though, trying to force it back down the other side. A great win from Cans, actually. He's going to put JB in a bit of no man's land for momentarily, but does a very good job of recovering in a beautiful challenge of his own. Giving Spartax space, and you don't want to do that if you are blue team. Pxcey looking for the double tag, cannot find it. Bayley was there to recover. But this All-Star Red side have just found their 3rd goal. The pressure that they surmounted was huge there, and it's just about time that All-Star Blue cracked. 13 shots to 5 for All-Star Red. Always on offense, it seems. I don't think they've ever been under any sort of pressure. They have had 4 saves, of course. 3 of those going to JBGaming. Happy to be padding his stats there. But we haven't really seen much, and that's going to be the 4th. Very, very easy for Spartax to take that over lovely Cans, and at this point just feels like they've given up a little bit, probably. And it might not have been all that
bothered about it in the first place. But
I mean, you know,
you'd hope they'd show something, some sort of fight.
Exactly. This is not what we were expecting when we saw the names of this lineup. You know what I mean? Bayley's looking to put the 5th in. Doesn't find it at the end of the day. Spartax pops it high off the backboard. Maybe, you know, you have to say maybe the rivalry between Cans and Alanis was just too strong.
Inner turmoil, yeah.
You know, the inner turmoil too great. Cans now trying to make something happen, gets bumped for his efforts by Pxcey. Alanis now down the field, gets beaten out by Spartax, who has had an absolutely stellar game, sending out plenty of goals and getting a couple of goals of his own. Beautiful performance, and he looks like he's going to put in the 5th goal for his hat-trick. I mean, this is just a dismantling. I mean, Pxcey stole it. Pxcey stole it. Pxcey stole it. I mean, Pxcey, how dare you? But still, I respect it. You know, I respect it. But you know, exactly, respect the grinds, respect the padding of the stats. But this is not really what we expected at all from the All-Star games, and it's a shame. We've seen 3 best of 5 so far with the All-Stars, and now this happens.
It's crazy. Major again, continuing to be unpredictable, continuing to not go the way that you think, the way that you expect. And I do want to say that there is something about Spartax finally gets his hat-trick. That's beautiful to see. Justice is delivered. Pxcey, in fact, tried to steal that one as well. He's such a thief, so greedy. But as the players say GGs, you have to factor in that each of these individual players, despite being brilliant in their own right, they have play styles, they have skills that others don't, and you've got to look at it from the perspective that you put Bayley, Alanis, and Cans together. What if they're all third men? What if they're all great at doing a very specific role within their teams, and when you take out the other players within those teams, they kind of get lost and they don't know what to do. But on the other side of it,
I hope you know. I hope you know. I hope you know. Yeah. I hope you know. That you are on my mind. Promise I won't waste no time. Got down, but now I climb. Said I wouldn't make it. Feeling so lost, I feel caught up in the matrix. Have to keep waiting.